Okay, seventh graders, so we are going to look a little more at solving one-step equations by multiplication and division. If you remember last week, we were solving our one-step equations by addition and subtraction. So when we were doing that, we were trying to get the variable by itself. And what we did to get the variable by itself was we did the opposite operation to what was happening next to the variable. So if we were adding, let's scroll up here. Let's look at this example right here. This number 18. We see we're adding 9 to t. Adding 9 to t. And so to get this variable t by itself, what we did was subtracted 9. But the subtraction property of equality told us that what we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side of the equation. So we subtracted 9 from 56, we got 47, and that was our answer to t. To get the variable by itself, we did the opposite operation to what was happening to the variable. And it's the same thing for multiplication and division. It's the same thing. We need to either divide or multiply to each side of the equal sign to get our variable by itself. Because if you think about an equal sign, it's like a teeter-totter or a balance, a balance, like we were talking about with the virtue of temperance being a balance. If we think about an equal sign, it's like a balance. We want both sides of the equal sign to equal each other. That is why, seventh graders, it is an equal sign. We want each side to equal each other. And so we are looking for the number that we can put in place of the variable to make each side of the equal sign the same. So if we look at number 19 here, we read it out loud. I want you guys to start reading these problems aloud in your head. Think about what these problems say. So if I was to read number 19 aloud, I would say 2 times x is equal to 16. So now as you're processing this question in your head, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what am I looking for? You're looking for x. Think about it. What is x? X is a number multiplied by 2 that equals 16. I want you seventh graders to start thinking about that, because after this, we're just building our base foundation, and then we're going to start 2-step, 3-step, and 4-step equations. And so it's really important that we are recognizing what the variable's doing in our equations. So in this equation, in number 19, x is being multiplied by 2 to get 16. So I said, remember to solve for x, to solve for a variable, you need to get it by itself. And I said that you do the opposite operation of what is happening to x. So if we look at number 19, what is happening to x? It's being multiplied by 2. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So to solve 19, we would divide by 2, which would cancel those, and we divide by 2. X is equal to, what's 16 divided by 2? 8. Now, this will be really more important for our 2-step equations and 3-step equations, but for 1-step equations, you can still plug your number back in and check your work. So if we plug it back in, just to show you guys, 2 times 8 equals 16. Is 2 times 8 16? Yep, 16 equal to 16. We did it right, 7th graders. Okay, let's try another one. Let's look at number 20. 15 equals 3 times t. Now, if we see that, t is on the right side of the equal sign. We're used to our variable being on the left side of the equal sign. 7th graders, I'm here to tell you that it's okay for your variable to be on the right side of the equal sign. Your goal is just to get it by itself. It doesn't matter what side of the equal sign you have it on. Your goal is to get your variable by itself. So what do? Divide by 3 to get t by itself. Divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5 is equal to t. Let's look at number 21. Number 21s look a little different. What is happening in 21? We have k divided by 2 equals 6. Remember, 7th graders, that you can have two numbers written on top of each other, like a fraction, means divide. You don't always have to have that divide sign that you guys are familiar with. Sometimes it looks like two numbers written on top of each other with a line in the middle, which means divide. So we're looking for what number do we divide by 2 to equal 6? What's the opposite of division? That's how we're going to solve this. We need to do the opposite of dividing by 2, which is multiplying by 2. So I multiply the left side of the equal sign by 2, and those cancel to get k by itself. And I multiply the right side of the equal sign by 2 to solve for k. 6 times 2 is 12. Let's think about this. 12 over 2 equals 6. Do your division. 12 divided by 2, 6 equals 6. Woohoo! We did it right again. Nice work. Let's look at 22. 3h equals 27. What number multiplied by 3 is equal to 27? All right, we're multiplying, so we'll divide to solve. H equals 27 divided by 3 is 9. There we go. 23. J over 3 equals 4. J over 3 equals 4. So what number divided by 3 equals 4? So we multiply, since we're dividing, multiply. J equals 12. Now, 7th graders, I know this is a little easy for you, and I know honestly that most of it is mental math, and you guys can figure out all of this without even showing me any work. You guys can probably, like number 24, you know what multiplies by 6 to get 30 without writing out divide by 6 and writing out your divide by 6 and giving me your p equals 5. I know that most of you can just look at number 24 and say, oh, it's equal to 5. My variable equals 5. 7th graders, though, what I want you to do is I need you to show your work, because I need you guys to get in the habit of showing your work and to doing the steps to solve for your variable. As we move on to 2 and 3 step equations and solving harder equations for our variable, it's really important that we have these skills of doing these steps. It's really important that we have these skills and practice these steps so that we can apply them in later sections of this chapter. I'm not just doing this because I want to waste trees or because I want to look at all your work. I know that you guys know this. We went through math boot camp, for goodness sakes. I know that you guys know your facts. It's not for my benefit. It is truly for your benefit so that you know the steps and are able then to apply the steps to further math that we study. I know that our math homework is looking a little different right now as we're doing this distance learning, but if you're writing things out on a whiteboard or on a notebook paper at home, please practice and work out all of these steps so that we can see them and so that you can get in the hang of writing out all your steps.